Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'll show you how to use try and catch block in a very natural way. Let's come to the code and then I'll move into the try and catch block. So first we are going to define, let's say, a variable, and that will be my sort of a string. And then I'll say this is Danish Ali. I am 23 years old. So this is a statement I've written, and what I would like to do is that in order to make the code a bit more like sort of robust, I'll try to first get how many. Let me just give you a brief idea of what I'm trying to do and how I'm going to use the try and catch block in it. First, I'm trying to actually get how many vowels are there in my in the string, and I'm going to put that in an object, and I'll know how many vowels are there in it, and with the numbers. So first, what I'll do is that I'm going to take another variable, and let's say I'll put the array of that string. So and then I'll use the string dot split. So by this method, I'm gonna get the I'm going to get each of the letters inside my string. So we can even console.log and get array of string. So if you do that, so what you will get something like this. I'm sorry, the terminal is not there. So in the debug console, you see, this is what I get. So this is uh, the letters in the form of array now, and that includes every of the thing, the space bar, the space, and I'm sorry, and other things inside it. Okay, so and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a empty. I'm going to make a an object that would be completely empty that I'll be using. I'll tell you why I'll need that thing because the thing is that, since I want to know how many of each letter, vowel letters are there, so I need to have that thing, inside an object. So it's no more an it will no more be an array. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like the vowel array of vowels. So here I'm going to put that which I'm going to compare it with. So it would be something like this. Put a comma over there and let's copy it and paste it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, E, I, O, U. A, what did it give? And let me put my vowels. A, E, I, O, U, and the capital A, because I've got one thing over here as capital. So let me just put that in capital. A, E, I, O, U. Although I have only one I over here, but I just want to compare with all of the things so that it should look good and, the completeness should be there. Now, what I'll do is that I'll do a for each on the string. So what we have got is array of string, and that I'm going to do for each. that for each has got an item inside it, and then we're going to use the arrow function for it. And then I'll say if vowels, so we have to make an if vowel dot dot includes the item. If the vowel dot includes item, then go inside the code and tell me that if we need another if, because we need to actually get the object. So what we'll say is that object, does it contain anything? Any item? So if it contains that item, then you need to go inside the object and to the item and then do a plus plus. And if it doesn't contain anything, so what you need to do is just assign 1 to it, to the item, and just assign 1 to it. So so this is how it is. And then we have got the object over here. We can even console log the object. And now we will get our result. So coming back to it, let's go ahead and check the code, and it gives me the result. We have got 4 I's and 4 A's and 1 capital I and then 1 E and 1 O. This is how we got it. So now we can also do one thing for this particular if vowels, let's say vowels are not found in it, then what we can do is we need to press over here for the for this if, and we can put an else too, so that we can handle the code if there is a mistake. So else console log some error, no vowels found. So this is how it is. Now I've put another else over here, and now this code looks good. And so the idea is not to actually tell about, how this code is running basically, but you should know that, what I'm trying to do is that from the string, I'm going to take the vowels and just put that in an object. So that will be another part of the video where I'll be, if you're not clear how these things are working, then it could be another part of the video. But here the idea is to actually see the try and catch block and not this particular thing. So just we needed a code, and in that we have put something. So we have got 2 if else statement. So this is my inside if else, so nested if else, and then outside we have got if else. So I just use no vowels found. So let's remove all the vowels from here so that it could register that particular thing inside our else statement. So what we will do is we will remove all the vowels from our string so that it should not register anything. So now since we don't have any vowel inside our string, so once the split is done, it will only register the T, H, S, and those things inside it. And then it will check against the vowel if my item over here, and that's these items that we got from the split are included as a part of the vowel. So if they're not, then the code is going to hit this part of the else, and then I'll get no vowels found. So let's go and refresh the whole thing. and put a console log over here because this is where we expect the code to come. First coming over there, and then it will directly hit this part of the code because it won't go inside the block. Let's refresh the thing. And do we get any error or something? No. So we are in the debug console, and let's go. So it reads the vowel and then sees the object. Okay, it's an empty string. It's an empty object, and then it goes to the array of string for each. Of course, it will go because it's going to look for each of the things inside it, and then goes to the if, and now it compares like if there are anything. The vowel includes any of the items, these items. So it says no. So it says no. So the code is going to come to the console log over here, and it came directly going one step, and no vowels found. And this is what I'm going to get. No vowels are found. So this is one way of handling the error. But what if the problem is, what if we get any error other than, the things those are written over here? So in that case, there must be a mechanism. Let's make the thing as null over here. Let's say we have got a null value. Instead of string, I just put a null over there. Maybe nothing is coming or null is coming from it, and we just want to carry out this particular code. And since those values are coming from somewhere, so we don't even know what values are coming. Um, so we just wanted to just go on with this thing. And what if we don't get the expected value and we don't know if these things are actually happening in your code, that some null value is coming, and then that null value is split. So if you go on and try to run this code, you will get an error in the debug console. Now this error, let me just show it to you, then I'll talk about the need of that thing. It's gonna see, I've just made actually null a string. That's the mistake I did. Instead of passing it like this only, which is why just the code just went along. Now you see, the moment I refresh the whole thing, it says, cannot read properties of null. So because you have specifically put a data type that is null. So how could a split be attached to null? And since it cannot actually read the properties of null, so the split can't do that, and the code gave you the error. Now the problem is that this is a system error. That the JavaScript actually is giving you the error. But let's say you're working on some kind of a code, and some end user is not going to actually get these kind of errors, or maybe somebody who is accessing or sitting in the back end, he wants to um, uh, gracefully use the error and log the error for the end user. Let's say the end user actually tried to make a submit call to the backend, and in the backend you are handling the error. So if you do not handle the error, this error might be possible that the somebody who is developing on the backend part might see it, but the front end developer would be like when he made this submit press, then how would he know what problems are there in the code, or what mistake he did, which is why the code is not getting, submitted, or any data that you're trying to put inside the database is not getting inserted. So what error he has done. So in order to deal with that thing, you need to gracefully handle the error. So this particular error is actually seen by the backend developer or somebody who's actually um, uh, working with the code, and it's of no use for the end user. So in order to handle those errors and throw it back to the front end, you need to actually gracefully handle the error. Because over here you see our code was good, not there wasn't any problem, but somehow you got null value, and the null was not dealt properly by our code, because you cannot do a split on the null and those kind of things. So in order to handle it, what we will do is that we will put the whole thing into a try and a catch block so that our try and catch block could handle the error. So let's put a try. You simply put a try, put curly braces, and then a catch, and then inside it just open a parenthesis and write error over there. No, there's a problem. Let me just error, and then another bracket and say console dot error. And what error you want to throw? You want to throw the same error, cannot read the properties of null, or you want to put some kind of a specific error that you want to give to your the end user. So in that you can type that error like the value sent contains null. So let's he can even make some different kind of an error that is more readable and understandable by the end user. I'm just throwing an error over here. That is what the idea is. Now, what you will do is that cut the whole piece of code, although you have got the error handling, but cut the whole piece of code. So let me just tell you, when I say, although you have got the error handling, like else over here and else over here, because many a times what people think, since we have put else inside our statement in our code, so why do we even need a try and a catch block? So the main thing about it is that you need a try and catch block when something out of the scope of the code is happening, and the code is not even able to handle the thing. So how will you put that thing? So in this case, when you have dropped the string and the vowels inside it, the code was able to handle in the else that says no vowel was found and those kind of a thing. And this else is a part of the code, so it's got nothing to do with the error handling. But let's say this part of the code is actually handling the error, but it's handling the positive things inside the code, and that is a part of the code. But something that goes beyond the purview of the code, and that error, and you don't know, what kind of thing might come from the front end, and the data has to be handled gracefully. The errors sort of thing that I'm saying, that let's say we are getting some undefined or null from the front end, so it has to be handled gracefully, which is why you need to put the try and catch over there. So now you see, let me just split the try and catch so that you can see the whole thing. And where is our catch? Here is our catch. And this was our code. So where we want to put try and catch. Now, what you will do is that you will just put all the things inside it, everything, copy it. So this is how our code looks like, and paste it inside the try. Okay. Now, what basically you're saying is the whole code that you put inside the whole code that you put inside the try is, if there is some kind of a problem in where the split is not able to split null, then just go to the catch and say that some error has come and the value sent contains null, or some kind of you know custom error that you can make over here, and then it could be read in the back end. I'm sorry, it could be read in the front end then, because you are throwing back this thing to the front end. All right. So, and if you are thinking how this thing is going to the front end, and this is how the things go in the front end. Okay, and it will be registered in the error over there in the front end because you have put console dot error and then you're returning this thing. So this thing is getting returned, and then you will get the error over there in the front end. Okay, so not a big thing. Now we're going to run this code again and see if our console, this part is actually coming and hitting, this breakpoint is actually being hit. So we are in the try and catch, and let's go inside this thing. So when you get a string null, let's do it and see it went inside the try. That time you saw that the code did not even run. Okay, because the system was not allowing the split to be carried out on null, which is why it gave the error. Now here, still the split won't actually do anything with the null, but still the code is being read. That's the point. That means it's being handled now. Now it will directly go into the console.error over here. And now the value send contains will be registered over here as a, graceful attempt to log the the errors. And then you will get the value send contains null. So once you throw this error back to the front-end developer, the end user, he will know that he's done some mistake in sending the value, and then he will check out what problem he has done in sending the value to the backend. Or he might not even know that he's sending the values to the backend or anywhere, but this is what he will get, that so that he can the end user can see the mistakes that he's been doing in putting the values and something like that. Okay, thanks for watching the video.